as I said, about why I've made the choices I make, that I'm trying to partially flip the classroom and move towards active learning. And so I want participation, et cetera, et cetera. But I was recently at I don't know how many of you were at it, but at the ITLC Lilly conference, and there were some great plenaries there. I didn't get to a lot of the breakout rooms, but I did get to a couple of the plenaries. And one of the ones that really impressed me was Sandra McGuire's about metacognition. And based on that, I think, so she talked a little bit, and a lot of what she said are things that we've explored in other contexts. Many of us, as I know many of you obviously, and we've explored in other contexts. But the thing that I really enjoyed about her talk was that she actively brings students into that discussion, and in the very first lecture sort of says, here's how, here's a very condensed view of the learning paradigm and Bloom's taxonomy. You don't need to necessarily use, all the 7 levels, et cetera. But the whole idea of introducing the students to the idea, and in particular that resonated for me because I get students like Pallavi does, and many of you as well, that come straight out of high school. And their view of learning is often like, I've memorized it. We did inclined planes, and I know them. We did oxidation, and if you ask me anything about that particular lesson, I can just regurgitate it. And they think that that's learning. And so I was really impressed at this idea that bring them in and introduce them to the idea that that's learning, but there are higher levels, and what we're going to try and do is move you up that scale. And so I wrote a note to myself that basically, I'm going to carve out 10 or 15 minutes in my first lecture next term means September, to actually, comment about how they should be viewing learning, and why it may be a little bit different from what they are used to and what they have seen beforehand. So, talk to me in a year as to how that works. But that's certainly something that is on my to-do list to think about. Yeah.